Greetings, and salutations, one and all. Welcome to the night shift. It's the end of another night shift week. And tonight we do a thing we call Real Talk. It's also known as Marlon's favorite night shift show. I want to say big ups to the general manager, host of Real Rockers, music edutainer extraordinaire. I was gonna say reggae music edutainer, but he takes it a step further than that. It's music edutainer extraordinaire. If you don't know what edutainment is, listen, I suggest you find out. Quick and easy way to find out. Just check him out. Mondays and Wednesdays, Real Talk, not Real Talk, Real Rockers. No, what I'm saying is Real Talk, for real. The man knows his stuff, and he's good at what he does. I call him the general manager because he is Reggae Global Radio's general manager. I want to say big ups to all those locked in right now. Of course, those on Reggae Global Radio. How you doing? Thank you for that handoff, Marlon. Big ups to those on PEMGTV.com. Big ups to all the affiliate stations locked in. And of course, those right here at the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew on kevinstew.com. Welcome, glad to have you. I couldn't do without you, guess what? I wouldn't even try. You have my word on that.
It's your boy Dev.
This is the sound of Dev.
Jam.
That's the title right there. It's Jam.
Oh gosh. Juve money in a junk like a fish out on the road. I pull up on a bumper, start to post when cause I'm feeling good. She could be a doctor, could be a lawyer, could be a judge. All I know is Juve, and I in charge of Bam Bam. All I want to do is jam.
What a tune, wicked man.
Jam. You wicked with the man. Jam. Oh
gosh.
Pass me the liquor, pass me the cup, give me some ice. The girl have a bumper well organized and it looking nice. She whining it up, well I whining up. She whining it down, well I whining down. All over tight and not falling down. We going around and 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 around.
Listen, some people just make it go round and round. Oh gosh. I just love this tune.
I in charge of Bam Bam. All I want to do is jam. Show back the bumper, girl. Jam. It's Juve money, girl. Jam. You wicked with the wine. Jam. Oh God. Look she dey. Don't make she run away. Oh she dey. Don't make she get away. Oh God. Hot place where she belting, and the ice in the cooler melting. And she vex by the truck because she walking up and she using she bump up for venting. No lie, this is carnival. Juve morning is wine and jam. Bring your bumper, girl, push it back. Cause I in charge of Bam Bam. All I want to do is jam. Show back the bumper, girl. Jam.
I want to say big ups to Jan P from Las Vegas, locked in on Reggae Global Radio. Listen, moving forward, anytime you say in the name of the station, you go Reggae Global Radio. You have to make your tongue roll.
To post when cause I'm feeling good.
And if you don't know how to make your tongue roll, I suggest you learn. Taking it once more. This is the sound of Dev.
It's a boy Dev.
I probably won't get through all of it, but the student just... Why? Oh gosh.
Juve money in a junk like a fish out on the road. Pull up on a bumper, start to post when cause I'm feeling good. She could be a doctor, could be a lawyer, could be a judge. All I know is Juve, and I in charge of Bam Bam. All I want to do is jam, jam, jam. Juve up the bumper, girl. Jam, and jam, jam. It's Juve morning, girl. Jam, jam, jam. You wicked with the wine. Jam, jam, jam.
Oh gosh.
Pass me the liquor, pass me the cup. Give me some ice.
Boy, this tune gonna get me into all kind of trouble.
It looking nice. She whining it up, well I whining up. She whining it down, well I whining down. All over tight and not falling down. We going around and 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 around. I in charge of Bam Bam. All I want to do is jam, jam.
I want to say thanks to Policy Media Group for sponsoring this segment of the show.
Jam, jam. It's Juve morning, y'all. Jam.
Policy Media Group, innovative streaming and recording solutions. When being in the moment is priceless, give them a call.
Oh gosh.
They can do everything you see right here on kevinstew.com and some more. So if you have an event you want to stream on a secure, private platform, if you want to take it a step further and you want to do your own internet TV station, you have a live event, school, church, funeral, party, yeah, all them things, and you want to own your stream, you want to advertise as you wish, Policy Media Group is the place to do it. 754-999-6020. That's 754-999-6020.
Oh gosh.
Or visit them online at pulseemg.com.
Hot place she belting, and the ice in the cooler melting. And she vexed by the truck, she walking up and she using she bump up a venting. No lie, this is carnival. Juve morning.
I want to say big ups to those on Facebook Live. Remember, it's only temporary. Get familiar with the link, kevinstew.com. Come on over, jump into the stew pot where we keep things bubbling. What is a stew pot, you may ask? It's what others call a chat room, but we're fancy over here on kevinstew.com. Come over and just jam.
Morning I tight like a wheel, not out on the road. Pull up on a bumper, start to post when cause I'm feeling good. She could be a doctor, could be a lawyer, could be a judge. All I know is Juve, and I is the owner, man. All I want to do is jam.
Is all I want to do.
Right there,
Well, what do you do before you get into the jamming? You know, you just get up and just go jam. Come on, Dev. Boy, we need to do something about you, you know. The sound of Dev. It's called Is Jam. Now, anyone who's ever organized or produced any event, like a trip, a wedding, a party, they know the importance of preparation. Good preparation increases the odds of a successful event. We accept the importance of good preparation in diverse areas. The players stretch before the game. The singers do scales before the concert. Musicians tend to warm up whichever way they warm up. You know, brass musicians, they get some warm air going through their instruments and get their lips warmed up. I know that for a fact. I'm a brass musician first. Very first instrument I officially played was brass. You know, drummers will do a couple of fills and work out to make sure that everything is positioned right. Guitar players will work their fingers a little bit. So and like I said, the singers they warm up and do some scales, do re mi fa sol la ti do, and come back down and stuff. So and there are a couple of other exercises that they would do. Now, a little bit of a variation on the theme of the importance of preparation can be seen in our approach to intimate relations, and that is that is where we're gonna be hanging out tonight. Is this your build up for tonight's topic? Listen, you stew potters, you potters. Do you like it? I happen to like it. Do you like it? So, big ups to all those locked in the stew pot, of course. So, yes, it was the warm up to tonight's topic. Our ultimate goal in pursuing such relations or intimate relations is to achieve closeness and deep knowledge on the other end. But we insist on the journey first. Yeah, that little part. And if someone divulges their innermost secrets to you on the first date, well, your response will be to recoil rather than embrace them. But why? Because instant intimacy, without the gradual peeling away process, without the stutter and the search that usually precede it, that kind of strikes us as odd. Like a birth without pregnancy. Something must be wrong when you have a birth just coming up. This baby just appeared out of nowhere. Nobody was pregnant, it's just a baby. No, something wrong. Intimacy without preparation, without the passage of time, we intuit it is not the real thing. You know what I mean? It just happens and it goes. It's kind of like it's jam. And yet, when it comes to things relating to sexual intercourse, many couples jump straight to the event itself. The, so to speak, real thing, the main event. But is it really the main event? We'll come to that later. They just jump to that though. And they end up neglecting preparation altogether. And such neglect, it turns out, has consequences. Now, everything we do have consequences. We just don't know whether they're going to be positive consequences or negative ones. No, but even with an immaculate conception, 498, there's a pregnancy. So you're talking about the conception. You're not talking about the result of the conception. You're talking about the birth. Where did that baby come from? Who's that? Dora. Oh my goodness. If I knew really how to... Is it allo in Portuguese? How are you? Sheila, how you doing? All those over there on Facebook Live. Big ups, big ups, big ups. Don't get too comfortable, This is only a segment. So that link, that little blue link that you guys see on Facebook in the description, just click on that and go over to kevinstew.com. Come on into the stew pot. It's where we keep things interactive and bubbling. It's a judgment-free zone. So bring your comments, bring your responses, bring your views. And you can also call, you can also text 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839. The Stark delivered it. I can't with you. Oh my goodness. Um, so there we are. And the neglect of the foreplay leads to just an event. And this time, it's not where you say, boy, that was an event. Although some of them kind of go that way. How often you have that, though? Foreplay appears to be a perennially beleaguered, and the first time I came across this word, I was like, this is like the worst thing the English language could do to us. To I don't know who it was that created this word, beleaguered. But by definition, for those who are not familiar with it, it is suffering or being subject to constant or repeated trouble or repeated harassment. So, foreplay, as they say on psychologytoday.com, appears to be a perennially beleaguered component of our sexual repertoire. Even the linguistic term describing this form of sexual touching is awkward, and it's also misleading. The word play connotes an activity of diminished gravitas, and the word for co-signs sexual touching needlessly to the preposition, when in fact it does quite fine after or during or even instead of. Now, there are some that would argue, hey, listen, you've got to be crazy. What do you mean instead of? Well, you could say that maybe if you have never tried it. There you go. It's not any kind of event without the build-up. It's just blah, right? Even a quickie has some form of foreplay. Yes, it does. And those are the ones that are significant. But we go on a little bit. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Still celebrating the Earth Day, right? Yeah, Sharon, for those of you, my cousin Sharon celebrated her Earth Date yesterday. Recognized her Earth Date yesterday. She's still celebrating. In fact, celebrations go on all week. Now, be that as it may, sexual touching does seem to be of unique importance in the preparatory stages of intercourse for three main reasons. First is sociological. Precoital sexual touching is part of the socially accepted sex script in Western society. Foreplay, penetration, intercourse, orgasm, sleep. That is pretty much how it goes. Whether we recognize it or not, we are all prisoners to some degree of the prevalent scripts adopted by the society in which we live. Violation of accepted scripts may cause difficulties. Example. Well, it may cause difficulties, it may cause confusion, it may cause failure. And that's not just with regards to sex. We all know the cultural script of a restaurant visit, and it includes tipping the waiter. Yes? Yes, cool. Those who deviate from the script and refuse to tip their waiters will in time incite hostility from both their friends and their waiters. Did you know that? It may seem kind of strange that there is hostility from the friends because you didn't tip your waiter. But for those who know, you know better, you do better. It's just one of the things that's just how it goes. And that's pretty much why you have tip calculators these days. You do. Check the app on your device, your personal device, whether it be your phone or your tablet. Check the app and see if there isn't a tip calculator on there. The second reason for the importance of pre-intercourse sexual touching is associated with our physiological systems. Optimal sexual functioning involves two seemingly conflicting physiological processes. First, we need to feel sexual arousal and excitement. To get the car going, we need to press on the accelerator, right? Cool. So, yes, coitus. You can tell the people that are into Big Bang Theory, Yes, Sheldon, call me Sheldon all you want. For tonight, I'll be Sheldon. So, to get the car going, as an analogy, we need to give some gas. We need to press the accelerator. On the other hand, to enjoy sex, we need to feel relaxed, unthreatened, uninhibited. Boy, that feeling uninhibited, boy, that just takes it to another level. We when it comes to sexual touching, it turns out that it facilitates both processes. Sexual touching, it stimulates us. It quickens the heartbeat. It prepares the genitals for intercourse, mainly through activating the autonomic nervous system. So basically, it tells everything to get ready, and everything that needs to get ready gets into gear and just goes, which is why it's autonomic. It just does what it does. But it also comforts, in part by releasing hormones such as oxytocin. And those relieve or reduce the levels of stress. Well, specifically the stress hormone cortisol. So your oxytocin now works against the cortisol and you feel more relaxed. The third part, facilitated by sexual touching, this is psychological. So you have your sociological, your physiological, and now you have your psychological. Generally, soft touching and stroking are linked in our minds to safety and love ever since infancy. So before we became grown and perverted the whole idea of connecting with each other through touch, as children it was innocent. As infants, it was the thing that connected us with our parents, with those that loved us unconditionally. If mom kissed you on the forehead, or your scraped knee, you felt better. If she held your hand, the dentist was less scary. More specifically, reassuring sexual touching is unique in that we cannot do it alone, as much as some people may believe that they can, and as much as some people do. It's just not the same. Just as much as we cannot tickle ourselves. If you can tickle yourself, as in laugh out, stop yourself, slap yourself on the hand kind of a thing, then you know, you get to ride on a bus all by yourself. But it's not something that typically we can do. So it represents human connection. Loving, relaxing, and exciting, sexual, touching brings us closer emotionally to the other person and inclines us to intensify further that feeling of proximity. And it gives a physical sexual expression. Neglecting sexual touching as a preparation for intercourse, therefore, it hinders us on multiple levels. Without it, we may arrive at intercourse distracted. We may be misunderstood. We may be anxious. Neither sufficiently aroused nor relaxed. Now, what do you think comes next? It's definitely not heavenly pleasure. Not at all. And speaking of what comes next, we're going to take a quick little break. And during this break, we're going to say sayonara to Facebook Live. Come on over to kevinstew.com. Let's continue the discussion over there, because the broadcast continues over there. For those of you on Reggae Global Radio, we are still locked in with you, and we will be. Let me check in with the Stew Pot as we take a break. On the Reggae Global chat as we take a break and see what's going on over there. But come on into the Stew Pot. I do invite you. I need to invite you to call a friend and tell a friend. Tonight, we're talking about foreplay. And we're looking at it in quite some detail. So you hopefully you'll be able to take something away from this show, this broadcast. All right? So grab your pen, grab your paper, grab your partner, grab your enemy, grab somebody, anybody, and come on over. Real Talk Wednesday. We're closing out the night shift week with some foreplay. We'll be right back.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
It takes an entire village to raise a child. Hello, I'm Paul Campbell, here to talk about Palace. Peace and Love Academic Scholarship. This non-profit group supports students facing serious obstacles from entering or continuing their studies, not because the grades are failing, but due to the lack of financial support.
Over the past 8 years, Palace has awarded 600 scholarships valued at approximately 50.3 million Jamaican dollars, or 415,000 US dollars.
Together, we must build a better future for our children. Please visit www.palace.org palace1.org and make your donation to brighten the future of a deserving child. Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
I'm Khalib Thompson.
And I'm David Muir.
And we are the co-founders of a cultural nonprofit in Florida called Island Space.
For many reasons, now more than ever, we need the support of our communities.
As Caribbean Americans, we have the unique ability to claim everyone from the island as members of our Caribbean American family.
We are working to create a home for that family.
The Island Archives will become an internationally recognized museum of history.
Visitors can learn that although we are unique, we are truly stronger together.
Learn more at islandspacefl.org.
For Carol H. Williams and their client Census 2020, this radio spot is entitled Set Up, Be Counted, PSA, 60 seconds. ISKI code C.
Every 10 years, the census comes along, and it seems like everyone I know always asks the same two questions. What is the census, and why does it even matter? Let me give it to you straight. The census counts every single person living in America. An accurate count of our community tells us where there are more people. And where there are more people, there are more needs. Our participation could impact how public funding flows to our schools, health clinics, senior care, job training, and housing. It even determines our congressional representation. I don't know about you, but it sure sounds like the census matters to me. This year, take a little time for the 2020 census. You can complete it online, by phone, or by mail, and make sure you count everybody you live with. Your mama, daddy, sweetheart, babies, roommates, everyone. This chance only comes every 10 years, so let's step up and be counted.
Shape your future. Start here. Learn more at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It's Christina representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's Stew and the night shift radio show. Yo, it at the thing, turn up the thing loud. Wow, DJ Kevin's Stew at the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin's Stew, believe him, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christina. It's a hot it up loud. The beast.
I'll be home in a minute. Not take no time for change your state night. I feel like dancing tonight is state night. Alright, tell me where you feel like. Anywhere you wanna go, it's your night. Put on the dress you know I like, let down your hair. Get dressed up, let's take my ride and go somewhere. Tell me where you feel like. Anything you wanna do is your night. Put on that dress you know I like, let down your hair. Get dressed up, let's take my ride and go somewhere. Oh, na, 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 na. I wanna see you smile, that makes me forget what kind of a hectic day I had at work and get lost in your essence. I wanna feel your body rock and sway to some reggae. The DJ play inside a club where no one knows our name. Your warm embrace, your tenderness is reassuring. It's gonna be alright, you're whispering in my ear. Believe every word you say as I let you have your way. Go get dressed, baby, I'll wait. Tell me where you feel like. Anywhere you wanna go, it's your night. Put on the dress you know I like, let down your hair. Get dressed up, let's take my ride and go somewhere. Tell me where you feel like. Anything you wanna do is your night. Put on that dress you know I like, let down your hair. Get dressed up, let's take my ride and go somewhere. This 9 to 5 got me away with all the deadlines. My postcoders now my supervisor's breathing down my neck. The thing that gets me through the day are thoughts of you, just knowing somebody so beautiful is waiting there for me. Your warm embrace, your tenderness is reassuring. It's gonna be alright, you're whispering in my ear. Believe every word you say as I let you have your way. Go get dressed, baby, I'll wait. So tell me where you feel like. Anywhere you wanna go, it's your night. Put on the dress, you know I like. Let down your hair. Get dressed.
I want to welcome you back to the broadcast.
Tell me where you
This is the sound of Steven Sosa.
put on the dress, you know.
All those S's in there, boy.
Get dressed up, let's take my ride.
It's called Dates Night.
I'll be home in a minute.
I want to thank Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast. Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you, brings her table, her oils, and of course her Healing Heavenly Hands. She comes COVID free and she'd like to leave that way, so be mindful of that, please. Give her a call, 954-655-9000. Email her at theolater@att.net. Line up your appointment now. As a matter of fact, you can make it a date night. It won't be a date with her, but you can get a couple's massage.
I'll be home in a minute. Not take no time for change. It's date night. I feel like dancing tonight. It's date night.
Hey John P, sorry that I given you too much talking tonight, but that's what happens when you drop into the night shift. But stick around, we got some music coming up for you in a musical therapy segment.
My ride and go somewhere. Tell me where you feel like. Anything you wanna do is your night. Put on the dress, you know I like. Let down your hair. Get dressed up to take my ride and go somewhere.
I told you Althea's email, I told you her telephone number, right? Okay, yeah. Thank you, Althea.
Anything you wanna do is your night.
You know, she only requests that you get off her table when she's done. Outside of paying her, get off her table and go sleep somewhere else.
Tell me where you feel like.
Steven Sosa. Well, it's really Sousa, isn't it? Steven Sousa, S-O-U-Z-A. Those over there in the UK and parts of the Caribbean would say Z-A. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's called Date Night. That's all you want to know. The track of the song is Date Night, and it's a reggae track from the guy that live in England. Yeah. This one is a one harmony production too, isn't it? Isn't it, Marlon? It's a one harmony production. All right, so before we went on the break and said cheerio to those on Facebook Live, we did say goodbye to them, didn't we? Yes, we did. Just double checking. We mentioned some of the things that lead up to what that generally define now in a wide, broad sense what foreplay is. And we looked at the fact that without this type of connection, we may pretty much arrive at the promised land. We arrive at intercourse, distracted, misunderstood, anxious, and neither sufficiently aroused nor relaxed. And all that negates what we want to be experiencing at that time, that heavenly pleasure. Not quite the same that you get from Althea's Healing Heavenly Hands, but still, heavenly pleasure. Now, in the research, both men and women often report a desire for more sexual touching than they're getting. So, why is this such a common thing? Yes, thank you, Marlon. It is a one harmony production. Some people may neglect sexual touching out of ignorance. You know, when you don't know, you just don't know. In this case, ignorance is not bliss. In fact, it could lead to blisters. It could be out of a misunderstanding of how sexual systems work. Studies show that more sexually knowledgeable people are more likely to recognize the value of sexual touching and insist on it. Another common cause appears to be poor sexual communication. And if there's one thing that our society, as much as we talk to each other, we don't communicate well. Many people still hold the ancient notion that sex should not be talked about, least of all among the participants. Least of all when you're having sex. You're just not supposed to talk about it. In fact, those that do talk, they refer to it as talking dirty. What, is it really? What's so dirty about it? And if it's dirty, why are you doing it on the clean sheets? In reality, it is dialogue, not mind reading or instinct, that fosters understanding and harmony. In sex, as in politics, without negotiations, what do you end up with? War. Not peace or getting a peace. Another reason why people may forego sexual touching is anxiety. Fear of intimacy can make us try to get things over with quickly, which kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? When you think about it, the whole idea is to be intimate. Anyway, they want to get through it quickly, and they want to get through it quietly. They want to get through it in the dark. So the whole communicating before, during, after, it just doesn't happen. Sometimes that fear, that particular fear that one's erection will wither or a partner's consent will be withdrawn motivates a rush to intercourse. As long as he is able, as long as she is willing, or vice versa. You just want to get into it so that at least you know that once you're in it, then there's no turning back. You're there. In addition, many people have had their first and early sexual experiences couched in secrecy, guilt, and anxiety. Conditions inhospitable to lingering, attentive, erotic exploration. Early experiences sometimes fix behavior patterns for the future. Research suggests that the relationship between sexual touching and the quality of intercourse is stronger in women than in men. Women often express more frustration than men about the lack of such contact also. The reasons really have not been studied much, and surprisingly, you would wonder why. But there can be speculations. So what can we speculate? First, female sexual arousal is, to generalize, more complex than the corresponding male process. Men in general arrive faster at a state of readiness for intercourse. Therefore, their interest in precoital sexual touching may be reduced. Now, we're not saying that this is always the case, because I'm pretty sure that there are stories of some women that were always on the ready, and then the men had to get warmed up and prodded and coaxed into readiness. It happens. Secondly, in the sexual consciousness of many men, sexual touching can be regarded as a waste of time. Why? I'm not sure. I don't know. They consider it as a distraction from the main point. The reason probably relates to the fact that the traditional male sexual script emphasizes the stereotypical male's role as the initiator who closes the deal. Spending time with caresses and kisses in this context is seen as less masculine and therefore less desirable. Now, I'm pretty sure if the men that fell in that category were to really ask their women, you know, what are your thoughts on this? Some of them would be quite surprised. Many women, for their part, are still trapped in the female stereotypes of the past, compelling them towards passivity and self-silence, and preventing them from claiming their sexual rights, acting assertively, and expressing clearly and unapologetically their own desires and preferences in bed. Still, it would be a mistake to regard the issue of sexual touching as a woman's issue. It is not. And if you regard it that way, men, I would suggest you get in touch with their feminine side. The researcher Adina Galinsky of the University of Chicago published an interesting study about the relations between the practice of sexual touching and sexual dysfunction in a mature sample, age 57 and over, of U.S. citizens. More than 1,300 sexually active participants responded to questions about their sexual touching habits, and as well as their levels of frequencies of sexual arousal, erection, and orgasm. You're noisy and outspoken. I don't even know how to the images that have just come to mind for 98. I don't know. Are you cussing people off? You just cussing? You just saying things randomly? When you say you're noisy and outspoken, what do you mean? Are you the kind of person that you can't steal a quickie in the back of the movie theater, not telling anybody that they should do that? I'm just saying, that has always been a thing, you know, or you know, what does that mean, noisy and outspoken? Analysis of the findings of the study show that the prevalence of functional problems was more than doubled in women and almost tripled in men among the participants who did not include erotic contact in their sexual relations compared to those who did. The gaps remain statistically significant, albeit reduced, even after the researcher factored out the influence of other variables linked to sexual functioning, such as physical health, age, stress, economic status, and so on. There you go, Marlon. You see, that's how it goes. You have the ones that do and the ones that like when you do. Yeah. Now, yes, it is encouraging, isn't it? It is important to remember that correlation between two variables does not necessarily imply a cause and effect. All right? The fact that sexual touching correlates with arousal, erections, and orgasm does not mean necessarily that such touching is their cause. Perhaps better arousal and erectile function makes people want to extend their erotic contact. Perhaps some external variable such as sexual knowledge is responsible for the relationship between sexual touching and sexual and successful intercourse. Maybe those who know a lot about sex function well they function well in foreplay and in intercourse, just because they have a little knowledge. Those who do not know much about sex, well, perform less at both ends. Makes sense, right? But nobody knows for sure. Either way, the message from the findings is that a statistically significant correlation exists between the frequency of sexual touching and sexual functioning and enjoyment for both men and women, at least by middle age and beyond. So now that in and of itself tells me something else. It tells me that the phrase old but no cold Yeah. So for those of you who kind of missed out on the patois, old but not cold, which means, still got some fire in them. I still got some spark. And apparently, it seems from this study, it's telling me that it seems when you get to middle age and you start getting past middle age, you become more of one who is a connoisseur of the experience versus one that just participates. You apply a certain level of finesse to it. So things happen differently. Now, at the end of the day, when it comes to sex, variability is the rule. Different people have their own private preferences. Some prefer straight up intercourse without decorations. Slam, bam, thank you, ma'am, let's get it on. Some don't. They like the elaborations or the preparations. In addition, even enthusiasts of sexual touching are sometimes turned on by a sexual episode that skips the niceties. And that's good for them too. Personally, I wonder if the ones that skip the niceties recognize that there's a level of foreplay that happens regardless of what you consider that foreplay to be. You don't get it? Don't worry about it. We'll look at that a little bit later. We still have another portion before we get into our musical therapy. But over time, as a life habit, neglecting sexual touching, the lingering, lavish encounter that delights and revels in patient sexual attention, may be similar to foregoing the habits of cooking, setting, serving, and enjoying a nice meal for a constant diet of junk food fetched from the drive-thru of your favorite fast food restaurant. We may not starve to death, but our health will diminish, as will our sense of having lived and loved fully. Now, what a comparison! What an analogy to draw. You season the food and you cook and you set a table. You serve the meal and you enjoy it. Way different from going to the drive-thru. Yo, give me a number 5. Medium size it. And no, I'm not saying that your drive-thru experience can't be a rewarding one. What they're saying here is you don't want to just live by way of a drive-thru experience. You occasionally, even if occasionally, you set a table and make a presentation, it can change things significantly. And it is the communication that we want to encourage. We want to get people into the idea that, hey, you know what? I want to know what you're thinking. You're in a relationship with someone. You really need to be communicating, not just talking to them, talking at them. You need to be talking with them. And that's the difference with communicating and just talking. Personally, I like the idea of communicating with you guys. I say something, you respond. You say something, I respond. That's us communicating. We're learning from each other. Which is why I encourage you guys to jump into the stew pot, which is why I encourage you to call, text, WhatsApp 773-789-STEW. You don't know what the stew is? 773-789-7839. If you can't do any of those things and your only means of communication is Skype, that's fine. I have a Skype handle, kevin.stew. Nice and easy. Simple, right? Let me just touch on these comments in the stew pot. I say what's on my mind and what I'm feeling. I can be outspoken during the quickie without everyone knowing what's going on. I can speak without saying a word. Yo, that's some skills. I'll be the table where you can lay out your course. Yo, hey, you need to write a book. 498. I don't know if you're male or female, but you're pretty much setting a precedence right there, and that's just wow. That's the kind of thing that, you know, as a man, you should be proud of, and as a woman, you should be embracing altogether, and also, in fact, you should be proud, man or woman. You're just proud of that, recognizing the things that you like and the things that you do. Now you can express that to your partner and express it positively in order to really get that intimacy, that into me see. You get it? Okay, I'm glad you do. We're gonna take another break. We're gonna take another quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna look at the whole idea of when foreplay actually happens. You know, is it before? Is it during? Is it after? You know, let's look at that a little bit. Call a friend, tell a friend. It's a night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Real Talk Wednesday. We're closing out with a little bit of foreplay. Maybe it will lead to something into the strong end. I don't know. Let's find out. We'll be right back after these few words. Call a friend, tell a friend. It's Real Talk Wednesday, right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
October 10th, 2019.
You have questions about the 2020 census, and we have answers. Let's go to caller number 1.
Well, what is it?
Good question. It's a simple questionnaire that counts everyone living at your address on April 1st. Next caller?
So why should I take it?
Because it guides how billions in funding gets used each year for things like clinics, fire stations, public transit, and so much more. Caller 3, go ahead.
What's it have to do with representation?
Well, your state's population determines the number of seats it has in the U.S. House of Representatives for the next 10 years. Next?
How do you take it?
Just look for an invitation in the mail starting March 2020. Then complete it online, by phone, or by mail. Let's go to our final caller.
Is my information safe?
Yes, it can't be shared with anyone. It's the law. Thanks for joining us. And don't forget to shape your future. Start here. Learn more at 2020census.gov.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is working to help keep you and your community safe from the threat of novel or new coronavirus. Take the following everyday steps to help avoid the spread of all respiratory viruses. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue. Throw the tissue away and then wash your hands. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects or surfaces, such as remote controls and doorknobs. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. And stay home if you are sick. Call your healthcare provider if you develop fever, cough, or difficulty breathing. For more tips, visit cdc.gov.
Hey yo, this is Caraman to let you know that right about now you are logged on to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. Don't move.
First time she blessed my hands, clean and clean, got the wicked and the neat. Me make them up to make she creamy, pretty fresh game, she intrigue me. First time I double like me can't chat, the gleam in her eyes got me glued to the spot. Her smile took away my fear, just like a fairy tale from Shakespeare. At first sight was love, real true love, mutual love. She lay back in her arms, she closed her eyes and started to rock away. She said she loved the lovers rock, yeah. Ooh, cool and easy like a summer breeze. Said she loved the lovers rock, yeah. Ooh, kind of love to keep her mind at ease. Said she can't take the move without. Said she wants a real man to love forever. Said she loved the lovers rock, yeah. The special kind of love ain't no one above. Natural beauty, one of a kind, so divine and she's all mine. So I make sure every breath she takes is filled with love. I give thanks and praise to the one above. Say I'm me and the only man where she love. Can the spirit feel so secure? At first sight was love, real true love, mutual love. She lay back in her arms, close her eyes and start to rock away. She says she loved the lovers rock, yeah. Ooh, cool and easy like the summer. Says she loved the lovers rock, yeah. Ooh, kind.
Don't you just love the lovers rock?
Says she can't take the group together.
This is on a Mason the Emperor.
Says she loved the lovers rock, yeah.
I want to say thanks to Reggae Global Entertainment for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast.
Magnificent Empress full of joy and happiness. On Valentine's Day she born with you.
Reggae Global will take care of your bookings, your tour management, your copyrights, your event planning, social media marketing, music production, legal service referrals, publishing, trademarks, marketing and promotion, and so much more. Visit them at Reggae Global Entertainment or give them a call 954-998-8034. Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you. You heard about them on the night shift, the DJ Kevin Stew, yeah?
Couldn't miss her, it was perfect from the start. Never free, she would fall in love with me. Top shelf, dolly, surely outside Millie. Never did she make me feel inferior. She make me feel superior. She give me everlasting bliss. But she says she love the love is rock. Yeah.
If you're just tuning in, welcome to Real Talk. This is what we close out the night shift week with. It's also known as Marlon's favorite night shift show. And tonight we're talking foreplay. What will it lead to at the end is left to be determined. Why just foreplay? Shouldn't there be played before, during, and after? Well, you know, that is the question that was kind of alluded to. With when you look at the word itself, you know, foreplay, fore meaning referring to before, and play being that thing that happens in you know, in passing, that is of little significance. But when you really check it out, play is very important. Let's take, for example, learning something for the first time as a child. It comes in the form of play. You know, you teach the alphabet as a little sing-along. The alphabet is at the foundation of language. So there, you know, you really have to wonder when it comes to the whole idea of foreplay. Linda says the act of lovemaking can be a great way to shift from a focus on the destination to one on the journey. So again, this is where we play around with words. You know, the act of love making, and it creates a whole different imagery just using that word versus saying having sex, hooking up, knocking the boots, getting it on. You know, all these other ways to describe it. It creates a different kind of an image. It's not about getting somewhere, but about enjoying the ride. When two people are fully present in the process of lovemaking, the experience is radically different than if it's when one or both of them are elsewhere, you know, somewhere else. You've got to bring more than your body to the game. Of course, there are some games where it's just about the body. Foreplay is everything that has gone on between the last time you had sex and the next time. The next time could be this time, right now. It is not simply the prelude to a full sexual experience. It begins in the moment immediately following your last sexual encounter. That creates a whole different way to view foreplay now, doesn't it? It's almost like saying, okay, I am guaranteeing that I am guaranteed a next time. Emotional intimacy is great foreplay. If you have that, you are way ahead of the game. To the degree that there has been goodwill and loving kindness shared since your last encounter with each other, this experience will be much more likely to be mutually fulfilling. Know what turns you on, as well as what turns your partner on. So you kind of need to connect with yourself. If you don't know, find out. You cannot tell your partner what you like if you don't know what you like. Get to know your own body through self-pleasuring, and that in and of itself, some people will probably say, what? Self-pleasuring? Why would I want to do that when I can have someone do it for me? Well, they're going to do what? Play the guessing game? oh, I guess I can touch you here and you might like it. And you don't like it. And then the person goes, I guess not. How much does that take away from the experience? Why not just tell them what you like and what you don't like? And have a discussion about it and let it grow from there. Ask for what you want. Now, this is almost like people can do that. Yeah, you can ask for what you want, as well as you should ask for what you want. None of us are mind readers. Your partner really needs your feedback. Although expressing your desires and needs does not guarantee that they'll be fulfilled, it does make it more likely that they will be. Your feedback, verbal, sounds, body language, these give your partners the information that they need in order for both of you to experience greater pleasure. Here we go again. It comes back to that communication. Here, I kind of like this question in the stew pot. Where does the term lovemaking come from? I don't have to love who I have sex with. So, where does the term love make? It comes. It's a Western thing, and I believe it comes from the commercialization of intimacy, the commercialization of sex, and so to create the image, to create the setting that it is a whole different experience when you're making love from when you're just hooking up. You know, it's that kind of it's that thing that we do in the West. And we use these words to, and this is just my opinion, we use these words to make our situations appear a certain way. Right, it is your body, so you should know what pleases you, but there are a bunch of people that don't know the things that actually please them until they experience it and go, ooh, I like that. But then they keep it to themselves. They don't say, that, do that again. That, no, don't do that. And that thing that you don't like with person A, person B might do that very same thing and you do like it with them. So that again is another dynamic that you probably need to look into and be open in your head about expressing. So the comment is, I have to know what pleases me. I don't expect my partner to know what I like and I don't like. Oh, so that goes along with saying, find out what you like so that your partner can know what you like, or so that you can express it to your partner. I'm guessing that is where that what that connects to. Going back to this information here, anticipation is part of the fun. Waiting with bated breath. Just thinking about what's coming up can be quite a turn on. Emailing, texting, leaving sexy voicemails, writing notes that give previews of coming attractions, or a few examples of priming the pump. That creates that anticipation. And now, does it open you up for an anticlimactic experience? What doesn't? But you don't want to leave it out of the mix. Strengthen your orgasm muscles. Kegels are the classic exercise for women who want to transform feeble orgasms into fabulous ones, into amazing experiences. Locate these muscles in your pelvic floor by stopping yourself from peeing midstream. How many of you women try to do that? You think you're going to hurt yourself by doing it? It's a Kegel exercise. That's what they tell you. So locate those muscles. When you recognize those muscles, now you can work them because now you're familiar with them. The quick way to become familiar with them is when you're urinating, stop your pee midstream. Boom. Now you know what the muscles are. Now you know how to isolate them. Exercise those muscles. Then tone them by clenching when you're not peeing. Here's the thing. It's a good exercise for men too. Bet you never knew that. Practice delaying your orgasm. That's something else. The more you prolong the arousal phase of sex, the bigger the explosion. So slow down. Enjoy the moment. Live in the moment. Be present in that moment. When you feel yourself close to orgasm, cool slightly and bring things to a simmer. Then slowly build back up and repeat as many times as you can stand to. And then, only then, just let go. Mind-blowing. Be fully present. If there's one thing that would be said over and over and over again, it is just that. Be fully present. Use your breath to manage your sexual energy. Are you aware of even how that works? If you breathe in tandem with your partner, you can slow the rush towards orgasm and create a bigger build up. That will intensify pleasure. Don't be afraid to experiment. Hit the hot spots. Explore erotica. Erotic movies, books. Explore. Get help if you need it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And that is not just as it relates to this, but generally speaking. Because no man is an island. Ask for that help. If you're not orgasmic or have low levels of desire, advice from a professional may be helpful. Many types of medications impede the process of sexual responsiveness and desire. If you're taking meds, check with your doctor to see if they could be inhibiting your sexual experience. Nerve damage could also be a contributing factor, or low testosterone. These can be problems also. Get a thorough medical evaluation. You can also consult a licensed sex therapist by getting a referral from a trusted therapist, a doctor, a member of the clergy, or a friend. Or just check with the American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. It's called AASECT, AASECT. Or check with the American Academy of Sexologists. They do exist. Now, I don't know if there's an app for that. I haven't come across that information yet, but check around, ask questions, and if you're adult enough to be having sex, you should be adult enough to be talking about your experience and asking the questions that you need to enhance your experience. And then enjoy the afterglow. This will require you to remain conscious. Oof, that can be a task. Sometimes staying conscious without sex is a task. So can you imagine when you add to the mix an experience that uses as much energy? Just the experience of an orgasm can use enough energy, or the equivalent of climbing 10 flights of stairs. You never would have thunk it, but just about in one orgasm. So now think about all that you're doing to build up to this orgasm, and then you have this orgasm, and you're supposed to stay awake after that. Try. That's what they say. Try. Easier said than done in a lot of cases. Yes. But they say try. Particularly after an intense sexual encounter. Resisting the temptation to immediately fall asleep can produce rich dividends in your relationship, even if there is only a brief reconnection after your climax. Take advantage of the open-heartedness that orgasm produces. Sharing a few kind, loving words can be enough to satisfy the need for closure. What an experience that would be. If you do it, keep doing it. If you don't, try to start. And there's really no time like the present. Why you want to wait to get started? No, go ahead and start now. Open up to your partner. Talk. Ask questions. Share things about yourself. And here's a little bit of information that may blow your mind. Men enjoy foreplay as much as women do. In fact, they also desire it as much as women do. So that whole idea that their man is just to show up and get going and leave their woman all happy because they are bringing it. If that is your mindset, you might need to change it. You might need to adjust certain things. Comment in the stew pot here says, hey, listen, toys don't hurt. You see how much fun children have playing with toys? Why shouldn't adults have that kind of fun? And 498, that's an excellent question. Why shouldn't they? And again, it comes back to that level of maturity. Is that something that you have? And I'm not saying that if you don't do toys, you're immature, which kind of sounds crazy. But no, I'm not saying that at all. Some people like them, some people don't. Funny enough, there are some people that don't like them and they've never tried them. Because they say, I don't see why I should be introducing some inanimate object to my body to create a sense of pleasure. That is why I have a partner. Well, let your partner do it. If you don't want to do it, let your partner do it. There are some toys that have remotes. You stay on one side of the room and give your partner the remote on the other side of the room and see the kind of experience that you might have. In fact, I may need to look into investing into some remote control toys myself, because that thought right there just came to mind, and yeah, that sounds really, really interesting. Have you had any kind of discussion like that with your partner? Have you tried? And if you're not able to have those kind of discussions, what exactly are you talking with your partner about? Notice, I almost slipped up and said talking to. And although that might be for another show, that is something that we have done over time. We talk to each other and not with each other. And we end up missing out on quite a bit of the communication that we could be having.
I text her coming. Jesus Christ. Why? I'm coming, honey. Maximum speed.
But imagine just telling your partner, yo, I'm on the way. Because your partner done line you up already, done already told you the things that you want to hear, because your imagination runs wild and you share those imaginations with your partner, and they have now brought those things to real life. This is the sound of Hezron. It's called Maximum Speed.
I'm coming, honey. Maximum speed.
This is how we kick off musical therapy.
Everything drop. My baby just text me a picture on the WhatsApp. And I know me nearly have a heart attack. Oh, she feel do something like that. When she knows high blood pressure runs in my family. And now I need her like a baby needs its mommy. I'm coming, maximum speed to fulfill your needs. It's my guarantee. And baby, I'm a coming, maximum speed. You don't deserve an excuse, baby. You don't have to look in that way. Every stop light, couldn't wait on the green light. No, no, no. Nearly bounced down all the herbs of man. Yeah, it could have never have no fresh nor green. No, no, no. Yes, sir. Stop on the end, speak up a one stash. Anticipate every way it clash. Coming, was say she but like good. I can't wait, she's sizzling hot. Hey, I'm coming, maximum speed. You don't deserve an excuse, baby. I'm coming right away. We may run every step. Couldn't wait on the green light. No, no, sir. Nearly bounced down all the herbs of man. Yeah, coulda never have none
I want to say thanks to GMAT Music Solutions for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast. It's called Musical Therapy. GMAT Music Solutions provides sound, light, and stage production services, musical equipment, audio engineers, DJs, bands, PA systems, musicians, singers, and so much more. Give them a call, 754-307-GMAC. That's 754-307-4622. Check them out at GMAT Music Solutions. You can also do your online shopping there.
Everything drop. My baby just text me a picture on the WhatsApp. And I know me.
When you link them, you tell them that Kevin Stew sent you.
Oh, she feel do something like that. When she knows high blood pressure runs in my family. And now I need her like a baby needs its mommy. I'm coming, maximum speed to fulfill your needs. It's my guarantee. And baby, I'm a coming, maximum speed.
498. That's not a bad citation to get. Sound of Joanna Marie and Peter G, their rendition of Close to You. Sound of Code Red Band. It's called You Are.
My body screams so loudly when you touch me. You are the best thing that ever happened to me. You're my everything. You're my everything. You are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. You are anticipating you coming over. I'm as anxious as a little boy, intoxicated with excitement and giddy as a fool. I hear the door, there you are. I'm trying to keep my cool. You are the best thing that ever happened to you. You're my everything. You're my everything. You are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. You are, oh baby. Every moment is so magical. I cannot find the words. I don't ever want to leave your side. I'm so glad you're mine. So glad you're
The sound of Yishka. Sorry. The sound of Code Red Band with Bobby Rose on lead vocals. You Are.
Does my heart misbehave
this is Yishka. It's his rendition of My. Yes, I am. This is Natisha's stream. Tonight I give in.
I'm falling for you. Don't you know I'm falling for you? Baby girl.
This is Phil Watkins.
Can't you tell
Falling for you.
You got my mind and my heart and my soul calling for you. And I know you're falling for me too. Yeah. Oh, it's the beauty of your mind. wanting you. Girl, you're divine like the sun that shines and brighten up my life. So much joy with you. I rise above my stress, conquer all my fears with the powers of Jah. Did it all with you. Trade nothing for a woman like you. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, yeah. Baby girl, I'm falling for you. Don't you know I'm falling for you? I'm falling for you. Don't you know I'm falling for you? You got my mind and my heart and my soul. Falling for you. And I know you're falling for me too. Yeah. Baby, when I met you, that's when I knew you had to stay. No more wishing, no more praying. Just send you my way. Nothing but your love away, you take it and crown me. Joy and happiness when you there around me. With the grace of the King, your beauty shine from within. Girl, you're my everything. Falling for you. Don't you know I'm falling for you? I'm falling for you. Can't you tell I'm falling for you? You have my mind and my heart and my soul. Falling for you. And I know you're falling for me too. Yeah.
Here she was, my angel, the one that I wed. She was there, fast asleep on the bed.
This is AJ Brown.
I had to smile.
It's called Dreams of Me.
I heard what she said. She was dreaming, talking in her sleep, but she wasn't counting sheep. And then she moaned and groaned as she squeezed her pillow tight. Oh, what a sight! She was feeling alright. And then she called out my name in the middle of her ecstasy. Give it to me, AJ, she said. Give it to me, baby. She was dreaming.
Glad you guys loving it over there in Africa. Which part of Africa are you?
Deep in her fantasy, dreaming dreams of dreaming, yeah, dreaming dreams of me. Deep in her ecstasy, dreaming dreams of me. All right, oh yeah, Listen. It seems I was just lucky to be right on time to hear her expression so divine, coming straight from the soul and her subconscious mind. She was deep, deep in REM sleep, her body waiting patiently. I could not help myself. I felt my nature rise. No more disguise. I thought it was wise for me to join with her. Together underneath the sheet, I felt so complete when she hugged my body. She was dreaming dreams of me. She was deep in her ecstasy. Dreaming dreams of dreaming. Dreaming dreams of me. Deep in her fantasy. Dreaming dreams of me. Love won't let us wait. Not a minute longer.
This is Peter G working out with Novelty.
Right now.
The hit track. Love Won't Let Us Wait.
Even makes it stronger somehow. Here I'm with open arms anticipating. Just the thought of being with you is so amazing. You're the breeze in the summer, the warmth in the winter. You blow my mind. You're like a dream come true. Just wanna be with you. I love you all the time. Love won't let us wait. Not a minute longer. The moment is right now. And we
body language said you're ready.
So I'll open up and let you in, 'cause love won't let us wait.
Not a minute longer. The moment is right now.
And being so close to you even makes it stronger.
This moment, everything is love. Let's seize this opportunity and make it
Life as it ups, as it downs, you let me.
This is Hezzy for all the Hezites out there. It's called Stronger in Love.
Show me what the word love really means. Better with me through the rough and the tough, and you never said you had enough. You took away my heavy load and shared it to your shoulders. Life ain't guaranteed much, but you came with more than enough. You filled and overflow the cup, baby. It's your love, your love, your love keeps me stronger and stronger in love. Your love,
Do you know the things that your love do?
your love keeps me stronger and stronger in love. In love, it's your love, your love.
Do you know the things that your loving can do?
Stronger and stronger in love. At times, my friend would ask, how do you find the will, the strength to keep on going? And I would smile to myself, if they only knew the things we both know is your love, your love.
Yes, your love.
Your love keeps me stronger and stronger in love. Your love keeps me stronger and stronger.
Tonight is the night that you
This is Dottie.
make me a woman.
One of the dynamic ladies from Sensational Dynamic Sound.
Me and I hope you will.
Her single Tonight is the Night.
I'm nervous and trembling, waiting for you to walk in. I'm trying hard to relax, but I just can't keep sitting. No,
Remember, coming up at the top of the hour,
I can.
Kingston 12 Hi-Fi, Shinehead and DJ Papa
I wanna play a big girl and put on a set.
Papa Total. Yeah.
But I know so little about what love
Had to think about it for a minute there.
and I
Papa Lotal. Yes. My bad.
could try.
Translated DJ Butterfly.
My door and you're ringing my bell. Hope you're not impatient after waiting so very long. A whole year I put you off with my silly hang-ups, and we're both old enough to know right from wrong. Tonight is the night that you make me a woman. Ooh, you said you'll be gentle with me, and I hope you will. I'm nervous and trembling,
Yeah, Dottie really does an amazing job with this track right here. Miss Betty will be pleased. Indeed. I want to thank you each and everyone for locking in and staying and sticking around. My name is DJ Kevin Studio, so I do it every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 10 to midnight. On Mondays, it's Community and Finance. On Tuesday, Healthy Love, and on Wednesday, Real Talk. Just want to encourage you guys to look out for members of your community. And your community is not just the development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So whether you walk, ride, or drive, people that you pass along the way, on the bus, on the plane, on the boat, on the train, these are members of your community. So do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. Again, Kevin Stew is the name. The Night Shift is the name of the program. It happens on Mondays and Wednesdays right after Real Rockers. On Tuesdays, it's right after Rupee T on RGR, Reggae Global Radio, but always on kevinstew.com and affiliates, One Harmony Radio, WGLRO, ClintonLindsay.com, Foundation Radio Network, and more to come, and others. PEMGTV.com. Thank you, each and everyone. We're winding down, we're getting out of here, and
I've been really trying, baby.
I couldn't end the night without this.
Trying to hold back this feeling for so long.
The Uncommissioned Remix.
And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on.
Joanna Marie working out with Marvin Gaye.
Woo! Let's get it on. Hey, babe.
I want to be close to you too, Joanna. Yeah, you're kind of soft yourself, you know? Okay, I'll be quiet.
Right on early 'cause the heat is on. This is Joanna Marie, and it's all about DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. You feel for some stew? Check out Kevin Stew.
Let's get it on.
Hey, babe. I really want you close to me.
Let's get it on.
I like the way you feel.
Let's love, baby.
We're gonna lay it on. Right on early 'cause the heat is on. And I know that you're ready. Let us lay it on now. Now that we are moving in the groove.
getting to the strong end. I encourage y'all, be good. But if you can't be good at it. I'm out of here, y'all. Take care until. For those of you who can make it, Chef Culture will be feeding Broward at 100 9th Avenue. That's 9th and Broward at the Salvation Army this Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Catch y'all later. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.